So do you think meme coins are over, or has the meme coin market just evolved? This video I'm going to go through all of the runners we've seen on Solana meme coins in the last 2 weeks, and I'm also going to show you how to watch out for farmed tokens. So we'll start here with this coin. So this is called Time, and manipulated time coin ran reasonably well. It ran all the way up to 8 million before getting sold off. So we're seeing a lot of coins run to 8 million like this. But what's going on here? So a couple of things. First of all, in terms of TA, when you look at a coin like this, you can see the first pump on volume. You can see the volume there are marked off at the bottom. And then you can see on the second pump, sometimes it's a lower high, sometimes it's all-time highs. But when it runs on lower volume the second time, that's usually an indication that the coin is done and is going to get a massive dump, which then happened. However, there's something else fishy about some of these coins as well that you have to watch out for. And let me show you that. So if you copy the contract address, if you go into Axiom, just copy and paste it into here and then click the one that's the highest volume, that will be the legit coin. And here, what's really good about Axiom, link in description below and also in pinned comments if you want to use it. If you come to the bottom right here, you can see insider percentage and bundlers percentage. You can see it's very, very high. So what happens with some of these coins, and this is where you need to be very careful, is there's a group of insiders that will actually pump this coin. So if we scroll out to a 15-minute, you'll see it earlier on in the move. They'll literally pump the coin up, and then whilst the coin is at higher prices, looking reasonably good, they'll slowly start selling their bags. Now if you scroll down here and you click on top traders, you can actually see this. So a lot of these at the top, they either bought in very, very early, so they sniped the supply at the beginning, before it migrated, or they bought in a little bit later, but they're marked here as insiders. And you can see there's a good few of these wallets. And when you click on any of them, you can actually check their trading history as well. So it's very suspicious if they've not traded any other coins. So some of these fresh wallets you have to be very careful with. So that's one way you can quickly spot farmed coins like this. The other thing we're seeing, for example, this was MT, meme template, which ran to 3 million. Have a look at the time frames in which it ran. So from the beginning here, so 5:15 my time, so literally within 30 minutes to 2 hours, I'm seeing a lot of coins run to 2-3 million and then completely collapse after that. So you have to watch out for that too. And this kind of chart that goes like this and then just the coin just dies off, that's kind of typical of what we've seen over the last couple of months. So things are getting much shorter in terms of time frame. So one thing I've been constantly reminding you, and I'll remind you again, is very careful taking any swing trades. Swing trades are ones where you take a position on a dip for usually many hours, usually to a few days, so 1 to 3 days. This doesn't make sense at the moment with meme coins. You should be trading much, much shorter time frames. Whole period, only literally seconds to maybe a couple of hours, 6-12 hours max, before hopefully taking profits and moving on to the next one. Next one, another example, this was called Jovial. And again, have a look at the time frames here. So within an hour or two, run to 2 million and then completely die off. So the opportunity is there at the beginning on some of these coins, but then you have to be very, very aggressive. And I've shown you before in videos where to know like whether it's worth selling. But again, I'll show you here. So one easy way to spot it, we'll go into a 1-minute time frame so it's clearer. If it's breaking to further all-time highs and the stairs are going up, that's really good. You can stay in a trade. But after a sell-off, here at this point, so let's say this is all you can see here. So you don't know here, that, you know, we're not like fortune tellers. We don't know if this is going to go back up and take out all-time highs. We know that's a round number, so 2.5. We know there's going to be some resistance there. That's normal. But here, as soon as you see that it's not, again, pushing to take out the next high, that's a suspicious sign. And then when it makes a lower high or even the same high, but it does it on way less volume. You see high volume, low volume. So the next push-up is on lower volume. That's not good. Where here you can see the first push-up was on decent volume. Second push-up was on a lot more volume. It should keep going up and up. Those of you who've been around trading meme coins for over a year now, you would have seen coins like Chill Guy and stuff like that. They got crazy volumes as they were going up. It was more and more and more. Sometimes their 24-hour volume was like 300 million. Now, we've not seen anything like that for a long time, but that's what was happening before. Volume is the key. And as soon as you see the low volume drop off, that's your cue to leave. And then the volume slowly dropping off even more, yep, it's going to keep selling off. So very typical chart we're seeing at the moment. Next one, Defiant. And remember with all of these, use Axiom. link in description. Use that so you can check insiders, you can check who the top wallets and top holders are. Very, very easy to check at the bottom. It's really easy to check these things. But this particular one ran higher to 23. Let's have a look at what the volume is. Last 24-hour volume, 8. So it's not too bad. But let me show you a way that you can deal with some of these that are kind of moving sideways, not completely died off. And you're wondering what's going on. Is it consolidating? Is something going to happen? Well, with this one, because it's harder on a low time frame to see all of the volume, go to like a 1 hour or 4 hour and have a look at the bars. And what you want to see, if this has any hope, is you want to still see quite large bars, ideally growing. That will give it a shot of actually pushing again. But then you've got an issue here where you have to think a little bit about the mathematics of it. So what do I mean by that? If you're buying here at 15 million and you know that even if it did pump, it's going to get sold off at 20 million, that was previous highs, what are you really doing? Think about it. So if you're putting 1.5 SOL, so let's do round numbers, and it gets to 20, you'll cash out 2 SOL, so you'll make 0.5 SOL. But your risk here is a lot, because this can easily collapse into half. So your risk here is this going down to 0.7. So you're risking 0.7 to make 0.5. Doesn't even make any sense. You have to be in this period. This is where the multiples actually make sense. Now when it's going sideways, that's why so many of them are failing at this point, because it literally doesn't make sense from a risk reward to ape into these thinking they're going to run to 50 or 100 million, because probability says nothing's running to 50 or 100 million. It's simple. It's just maths. You have to do these numbers when you're a trader. You have to write these down and learn them. This one, I won't mention the name, but it'll be running all right. Again, check for farms. But this one on a pullback, now it's like in limbo in the middle here. Is it become the next big thing? You never know. You never know with these. Now, if you are like bullish on this, what do you need to see? You need to see after it forms a base, higher lows. You're getting that higher low, higher low, higher low. And the good thing about something like this is it's kind of easy to trade if you're not sure. And 2 million is not like crazy high. And you know, all-time highs was 6. So you know, there's a bit of a multiple there in terms of risk reward. That's not bad. But if you bought here, it's very easy to put your automatic sell order underneath. So you could buy here, put a sell order here right underneath, like at 1.95 million, because maybe it bounces at 2. So your risk is minimal. And then if it runs, it's worth the risk reward. Again, we're just doing the calculations in our mind very quickly. So let's say you are buying this. When it comes to selling, you click sell, limit, and then you can put exactly where you want your sell order to be in terms of price, and you can just put it just underneath 2 million as an example. So you can move this around where you want to, and then you can sell your whole 100% position and just click sell, and then that limits ordered. And you'll see that when you come here and you click on orders here, you'll see it, just so you can be like 100% sure it's triggered. And then you don't have to watch the chart. So if it goes down, the price goes down there, it just automatically sells out. Now if you think about it from a structure point of view, it makes sense. So if this is really the start of something, it will keep going like this and take off. But if it's not, and it's just going to fall off, then yeah, the price would go here and it wouldn't make sense to trade this. But the volume's okay-ish. Like the volume, you can see at the bars is not bad. And you get a lot of sketchy, like non-organic looking charts like this with still loads of volume. And these you have to stay away from. Like every time this is getting any kind of push up, immediately heavy selling, heavy selling, heavy selling. These are not good charts to be trading. So obviously stay away from these types of coins. I just copy and pasted the contract address so you can see it here. Look at the insiders and the bundlers. Use Axiom. Very, very useful. Let's talk about volume in terms of Pump.fun and what's going on at the moment. Just before I share those stats with you, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button if you're enjoying the content. So if we have a look here, we can see recently things have picked up in terms of coin launches, which is a good sign. And compared to Radium, is really pumped up because of PumpSwap now, which is the alternative DEX. And that's performing very well at the moment. So well that Radium created their own competitor, which to be honest is not really doing great right now. Coins aren't really taking off, so you gotta hand it to Pump.fun. They've got the better model as it stands at the moment anyway. Further breakdown here, you can see daily volume has been picking up again. This is a good sign. So when I mentioned in the intro, are meme coins dead? No, like I do everything based on stats. Definitely not. But it's trench trading only. Like longer term memes running to hundreds of millions, that's not happening, and I don't see that happening anytime soon. The other tip I would add as well, because again, you can't be watching the screen all the time. If you do buy any of these, like Fun coin that got to about nearly 3 million and stuff like that, make sure you put automatic sell orders as well. So at previous highs, automatically you sell 30-40% of your position. So what you can do is click on sell, limit, push the line up where you want to, like previous all-time highs, and then you can select just like, let's say just 25% and click on sell, and then that order is created. So now let's say if you bought here and price goes back to this previous all-time high, it automatically sells quarter, half of your position, however much you want. You can create custom, but you have to put these orders in place. Otherwise, price will go there, you'll miss the opportunity to take profits, and then you'll break even or worse, make a loss. This is one that's interesting called cattle. Again, I've not done social research, I've not looked into it further, but just looking at the chart, looking pretty decent. Looks like organic growth. It's not a particularly old coin, but it's been slowly trending upwards. That's not bad to see, because so many coins, as I've shown you already, they just do initial pump and they just completely die off. So keep an eye out for ones like these where on the dip, if risk reward makes sense, then it could be worth trading. But your best bet still is that first period after launch. So it's graduated coins or ones that are migrating. Again, you can spot them easily. Just click on pulse here. So it's these ones in the right hand side, migrated, final stretch. These are the ones where the multiples make sense. So ones where you're buying 50k, 100k, and you're trying to sell out at 300, 400k, maybe even a million market cap. Multiples definitely make sense compared to the risk that you're taking. So watch some of my other videos when it comes to Axiom. Have a look at the filters I'm using. And probability wise, you really shouldn't be holding for more than say a few hours on any of these positions. If you have conviction in the coin, you can always leave a moon bag, which means just leaving like 10 or 20% left of your position and just seeing if the next day it goes up. Because remember, you can automatically put your sell orders on that coin anyway. My comprehensive meme coin trading program is linked in the description below, and there's a special offer on at the moment. You'll see a voucher code below as well. Hope this helps. Thanks for listening.